welcome to the Krug Show, everybody. Wednesday nights, time for the call show. Kev's in the house, brought to you by Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle. The best barbecue in all of Northern California. Go say hi to Damon and Mary. We're going to be there Sunday from noon on. Stop by the watch party. Gonna have a lot of fun. Should be good. We're also brought to you by New York Style Italian Sausage. The only kind of Italian sausage this guy eats is New York Style Italian sausage. Marin Autoglass. Let's not forget Marin Autoglass. MarinAutoglass.com, 415-883-3030. Check them out. Great company. And also thanks to Underdog Fantasy and Mojo Fantasy. And check the link in the description, and you can use that promo code Krug, K-R-U-E-G, and they will match you up to your first $100. All right, guys, happy December the 13th. I was going to ask Kyle Shanahan, hey, Kyle, have you started your Christmas shopping, and is Fred Warner on your list? But I didn't get that question out today. Did not. Got a couple questions out to him. That wasn't one of them. But I always love doing the call-in show. Why? Because Kev is part of it. It's the fastest growing show that we have. By the way, we should say Raphael562 says like and subscribe, everyone. And he always says, what's up, Larry? What's up, Kevin? What's up, everyone? There you go. Raphael562 always getting us rolling. Digital Drew is in the house. Let's go. Let's go. Daniel Brown says the best content from the hardest working man in the game. All right. All right. Well, we're fired up to do this. Everybody hit like and subscribe if you can. Boost the channel, boost the stream. We got a bunch of people hanging in the green room right now. They're back there eating the food, drinking the wine. James T. Kirk, Franco, Sparks Northern, and Digital Drew all in the house. We're going to do an hour long tonight. We'll try to keep the calls moving quickly. But before we go to the calls, 3 hot, and I mean really hot, topics with the great Kevin Kruger. This is your show, Kev. Don't let us down.
Oh, geez. A lot of pressure. I did have an announcement, and now I completely forgot.
You have an announcement?
Oh,
wait a second.
We're going to be
maybe music. Should we wait a second. We get some more music going. What would be good music forward? I'll put the banner up there.
Wait. We should put up
the banner. We'll put the banner up. We'll let people know. There we go.
This graphic
right there.
This. Watch party.
That's what I said.
I will be at the watch party. I just want to point that out. When he said we, he really meant we. I will be there. So I would love to meet some of you guys. It'd be really fun.
Kev's going to be, leave that up there for a minute. Leave up the watch party. And we also have, there we go. So big event coming up this Thursday. Maybe we should have some music with it. Maybe a little, what do you think?
I don't know.
A little dance pop. You like that? It's one of the options we have. This could be the new music to the beginning of the show. What do you think? Can you go with that? I don't know about that one. Acoustic.
Yeah, well, it's enough.
Acoustic cinematic. You like that?
Yeah,
I like this one. I like Feeding the Ducks. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. Come to the watch party. 341 Corte Madera Town Center. Come stop by, have some barbecue. I was listening to some nice music there.
I couldn't listen to that anymore. It was too much.
Who's producing this extravaganza?
Me.
You? Okay. All right.
I am.
There you go. All right. Let's go to your questions then, superstar. What do you got? What do you got? I mean, is the bed made, by the way?
It's made. It's made.
It is made. Okay.
It's made. It's definitely a lull time in Niners news. They've won games. Now they're playing the Cardinals. It's not super hot.
The big mighty Cardinals are rolling in with Kyler Murray.
I know.
You
but
don't think it's
still,
big?
it's just the numbers reflect. The numbers reflect it. But I think right now the hottest topic is just the MVP race, and I want to get your thoughts on something. So I'm just going to show you what Kyle said today when he was asked this question,
Okay.
and you can be the judge of this. I'll show you right here.
I mean, trying to get me in trouble with those two guys.
Oh wait, just for context, I forgot to give context. He was asked about whether Brock or CMC should get the MVP. So that's the context.
Okay.
I mean, trying to get me in trouble with those two guys. That's the only reason I wouldn't overly comment on either one of them, because I don't want them to cancel each other out. But if any non-quarterback's going to get an MVP, I don't get how Christian McCaffrey can't. I mean, he's amazing in what he's done all year. If it's going to a quarterback, then I don't have to talk about Christian. I can talk about our quarterback. And I'm still, if his numbers is all you see, then I think that solves it up. But if you watch the film, then it makes it even stronger, which to me is the most important thing.
Yeah, I mean, well, what's more impressive?
That's the question, basically, is
who's the MVP between Brock and CMC?
Who are you giving it to? Who deserves it more, CMC or Brock? Just for some context as well, CMC has almost 1,200 rushing yards. No one else in the NFL has over 1,000, and he leads the NFL in stacked box percentage. So he's facing a stacked box at a higher rate than anyone else in the NFL, and he's beating everyone else in the NFL by over 200 yards.
Yeah, I would say it's been CMC since minicamp that he's been the best player all year. He's been the best player for the Niners all year, and he's been the best player probably in the league. But it seems like it's a quarterback award, and listen to these numbers for Purdy. I mean, 70% completion percentage, 3,553 passing yards, 273 yards a game, 25 touchdowns, 7 picks, 116.9 rating. He's going against the Cardinals this week. In the first match against the Cardinals, he completed 95% of his passes. He's having an incredible year. So there's Purdy on that front. Then you got McCaffrey, who's run for 1,177 yards, 5.2 a carry, 12 touchdowns. He's averaging 90.5 rushing yards per game. He's really spectacular. And then as a receiver, he's caught 63 more balls for 437 yards, averaging 33.6 yards a game. So, yeah, I mean, McCaffrey is averaging about 123 total yards per game, 124 yards per game. So I probably lean towards Christian, but it seems like it's a quarterback award. And I do think if Brock plays big on Christmas night, national TV against Lamar Jackson, big audience, and also, has big, very productive games against Washington and Arizona, two teams that are real limited in their pass defense. I think it could be his. I mean, Arizona is 23rd in the NFL in defense. They're 30th against the run, 13th against the pass. But, I mean, these are teams that he could put up big numbers against. So I would probably vote for McCaffrey right now. But if Purdy finishes with a huge month and has a big national TV game against the Ravens, and they wind up putting 30 or 40 on the Ravens defense, and he beats Lamar head to head, I think it's probably going to go to Purdy. What do you think?
I think it'll go to Purdy as well. I think Christian McCaffrey deserves it more. I think if you were to scan the league and look around the league and say, who's having the most impressive season right now, I think it's hard not to say it's either Tyreek Hill or Christian McCaffrey. And it's only because it's a quarterback award that they won't win it. But I mean, basically to win the MVP as a non-quarterback, you basically have to have an absurd season. And Christian McCaffrey's going to have a good season, but I don't know if he's going to have an absurd season. Because I'm looking at Adrian Peterson, his MVP season, he had almost 2,100 yards, averaging 131 yards a game. That's absurd. That's crazy.
Yeah.
ESPN projects Christian McCaffrey to get around 1,500 yards this season. So we're talking about an additional 500 yards from scrimmage. So again, most deserving, I'd say CMC. Who's likely to get it? I'd say probably Brock Purdy.
Cosmin Cozy Codes says at the Krug show, I hope you do a Draymond video tonight.
You did. It's out.
I already did a Draymond video tonight. It's already out. It's out there for you to check out right now, Cosmin. You ask, Cosmin, you shall receive. All right, Kev, question number 2. What are we going with?
All right. Just a little bit more to a little bit expand on what we were just talking about. Dak Prescott is kind of the guy that is paired with Brock Purdy. And I think it would be kind of an interesting exercise to just compare the two. What's your opinion of Dak Prescott? He's the guy that's paired up with Brock Purdy as the 2 top MVP candidates. He's obviously having his best season of his career. He already has over 3,500 yards. He has 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, just under 70% completion percentage. But there's one statistic I saw, and I apologize because it looks a little funky. But here, let me just pull this up real quick. This is Dak Prescott against winning teams. This is where his downfall is. Against winning teams, he's 0-2, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. His passer rating obviously dips low. And where Brock Purdy, on the other hand, is 4-1, 9.1 yards per pass attempt, has 1 interception, 14 touchdowns. So that's kind of where they separate. What's your opinion on the pairing?
Well, I mean, okay. There's first of all, Brock's got better numbers, right? Doesn't he have better numbers across the board here? For the season, for the regular season, Brock's completed 70%. And if you look at Dak has completed 69%. So Dak's got 28 touchdowns and 6 picks. Purdy, what's Purdy? Purdy's at 20. Oh no, he's at, what is he at? 38? No, that's career.
That's not possible.
He's 25 touchdowns, 7 picks. So they're basically the same. Brock's got a 116.9 rating, quarterback rating, and Dak's got a 107.5 quarterback rating. When they played head-to-head, Purdy threw for 4 touchdowns and no picks. And Prescott threw 3 picks, and his team got drubbed. Now, granted, he was going against the better defense, but Dallas's defense is also pretty good. So, I don't know. I mean, why Purdy's got some edges. Prescott's got some edges. Prescott, I think, has really been good this year from the standpoint he's taking better care of the ball. They're not driving it as far down the field. They're taking more about what the defense gives them. He's running more. So he's got an explosive team for sure. Pollard is their one back. They use a little bit of Rico Dowdell. But he's got CeeDee Lamb, Jake Ferguson, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, and Pollard out of the backfield. A little bit of Jalen Tolbert, a little bit of the rookie tight end Schoonmaker. Turpin will mix in there. I think Purdy's got better weapons. I think Dak's got a better O-line. I think Purdy's got a better play caller. I'd probably give the edge to Brock, to be honest. Slight edge. I don't know. I mean, how do you not give Brock the edge? They played head-to-head, and Brock's team destroyed Prescott's team, and Brock outplayed him. And the numbers are comparable. If the numbers weren't comparable, then I would say, yeah, come on, you don't put too much in the head-to-head. But how do you not have the head-to-head be a deciding factor when the numbers are very comparable? They basically, statistically, had almost an identical season.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think, Dak and Brock got kind of grouped into you saw the Cam Newton thing. What Cam Newton was kind of disparaging both of them. I thought the funny thing with that is that a lot
Dak,
of people were
Goff, Tua, and Purdy all were called game managers by Cam Newton, who
a
won
lot
an
of the
MVP.
a lot of the defense came to, Brock Purdy and Dak's side, but no one was really arguing for Jared Goff. Like all the people that brought that up, that no one was like, how could you say that about Jared Goff? Like no one was really saying that. I thought that was kind of funny.
And what makes, Jared Goff may not be an elite quarterback, but why is he a system quarterback? And what is a system quarterback? Can we define that? To me, it seems like a coverall blanket statement that ignorant people make to just say you're lesser. It's just you're lesser. Because Jared Goff's a big guy with stature who can throw the ball down the field. He's not and Brock Purdy, if I know it's kind of a pain to actually watch these games, so then you actually know what's going on. But he might be a smallish guy, but this guy takes shots down the field and leads the NFL in yards per attempt.
Yeah.
So this whole idea that Brock's throwing it underneath and capitalizing on yards after the catch, you debunked that yourself, Kev, with your tweet last week, right?
Yards after the catch? That wasn't me. But I think I saw that. It was the tweet that said basically
It
like
might have been a Lombardi tweet.
It was like his yards per attempt before yards after the catch is still higher than I think highest in the league.
We get a couple supers in here. Dazza says it's a quarterback award. Why call it MVP? Why not call it the quarterback MVP? It should be either Tyreek Hill or Christian McCaffrey. And G-Code Travels Vlog says, is Farhan a big reason why free agents don't sign with the Giants? I don't think so. I think it has more to do with California's taxes, the image of San Francisco to, wives of baseball players who often come from the South, Florida, Arizona, more conservative markets. They don't want to be in San Francisco because it's not a conservative market. There's been a lot of bad pub about San Francisco. Well, a lot of it's true, but there's been a lot of bad pub, and I think that's a big reason why. And I think Buster talked about it yesterday, and I think it's true. The Giants are having a hard time signing people because wives of baseball players see these stories about feces and homeless and how dirty the city is and how it's going backwards and all the drug use and the fentanyl and everything else. And they're just like, you know what? I need to have a lot more money to go there. And the Giants are probably offering market rate and they're striking out. So that's kind of what's going on there. Kev, another topic before we go to the lines?
Two more. One's quick though.
Two more. Okay.
This is a trending tweet right here. And I hate that I'm showing you this, but it was sent to me today from a couple people. And I just feel like I have to show you this.
Oh no.
This is the classic comparison for Brock Purdy.
Oh, here
Jimmy
we go.
G through 14 games in 2019. Take a look at the stats.
You make it
They're
bigger.
pretty similar because all we can ever think about is the 49ers' last quarterback. We can't ever think about any other quarterbacks, but nevertheless, here's Jimmy G through 14 games last season versus Brock Purdy.
I can barely read that. It's 25 touchdowns, 20. Both have 25. Jimmy's got 11 interceptions. Brock has 7. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brock's got better numbers.
Percent for Brock. Yeah. So they're
Brock's
basically
got better numbers across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The record is slightly higher for Jimmy. That's
11 and
but
2.
they're close. They're all close numbers. Now this is all just it's all moot to even bring this up because they're not even the same. They're not even playing the same way. But what's your take on it?
What, that they have similar numbers or what? What do you mean? What's my take?
Yeah.
Jimmy operated the system at a really high level, and I don't think Jimmy's a terrible quarterback. I just think Brock's a better quarterback. I think Brock can throw with anticipation. Brock drives the ball down the field. Brock's more accurate. Brock's quicker to get away from the rush. Brock is calmer. I think he keeps his head and wits about him in the game better. Brock's just better. I think he's smarter. I think he works at it more. I think he's a better quarterback.
Yeah. No, my first reaction to this was because it was sent from friends that are like, "Oh, gotcha," but it's my reaction to that is, "Hey,
Got you to
Jimmy
what?
G." I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really like this is a weak
Got you
argument.
meaning Brock sucks because Jimmy right now is not very good?
I
Or is
guess.
it
I mean,
basically like saying Shanahan's making both guys? It doesn't matter
kind of, yeah,
who the
essentially,
quarterback is.
it's kind of one of the it's a system quarterback argument, right? Because Jimmy wasn't very good with the Raiders, but my argument to that was, hey, Jimmy was good in 2019. I don't care what you tell me. That was prime Jimmy Garoppolo. The best we ever saw from Jimmy Garoppolo was that 2019 season, and Jimmy Garoppolo had games where I was actually impressed, like that 2019 game against the Saints where they scored 45 and he threw a deep ball to Emmanuel Sanders for a touchdown. And the George Kittle dragging defender. Like that game was a good game, and I thought Jimmy had good games in 2019. Like don't
That
get
might
it
have been the
twisted.
aberration, to be honest. You know,
What do you mean?
though. Well, Garoppolo won a lot of games, but that was probably the one game that people always refer to when they talk about, his potential, his upside, what he was capable of. Remember that New Orleans game? It's like, how many people have harkened back to that game through the last couple of years?
Well, no, I
That
think
was an incredible game.
he had another good game. He had other good games. He didn't play well in the playoffs, that's for sure. I remember that. He was no passer in the playoffs, but during the regular season, he
was decent.
he was decent.
Not as good as Brock.
Uh,
All right. Question number 3.
4.
4.
Last one. It's about this is what the stream was titled. Can the Niners stop the Cardinals? The Niners have played the Cardinals once this year. They played well. Purdy played almost perfect in that game. He almost had a perfect game throwing incompletions. He had like a 95% completion percentage. But specifically on the defensive side of the ball, the Niners defense is going against Kyler Murray. And Kyler Murray isn't the best quarterback in the NFL, but he's a different quarterback. He's a fast quarterback. He's elite. He has elite quickness. Is there any concerns you think with the 49ers and a potentially, somewhat banged up defense facing Kyler Murray?
The Niners are number 1 in the NFL in points allowed on defense. They're giving up 15.8 points a game. They're 7th in total D, number 1 in rush D, number 16 in pass D, 7th in sacks, 1st in picks. Niners have 17 interceptions. Niners are 1st in turnover differential. So then you look at Arizona offensively and you're like, what do they look like? Well, they're 26th in points per game. They score 17 a game. They're 26th in total offense. They're 9th rushing offense. They've got the 30th rated passing offense. They only throw for 172 a game. Then you look at their depth chart and you're like, wait a second, they're all hurt. They've got their receivers. They got a bunch of receivers that are hurt in this game. So is Michael Wilson going to play? I don't know. I don't know if Michael Wilson's going to play. So that's a big one for them. That's really one of the big questions I think going into this, into Thursday, which is Marquise Hollywood Brown going to play? Is Michael Wilson going to play? Is Zach Pascal going to play? All 3 of those guys are hurt. And then on defense, Budda Baker is back. So we're going to get a George Kittle Budda Baker deal. But they don't have much defense. So I think the 49ers, they've got to stop Kyler from just burning him on 3rd down and running for 1st downs. And he's his own guy. It's like he's a really, really difficult guy to corral. But in some ways, I think he'll be a great proving ground for Christmas night against Lamar, because if you want to gear up to stop Lamar and a quarterback who's super athletic and can make plays in the open field, and you're looking for somebody the week before to get you ready, isn't Kyler almost the perfect blueprint? Now, we'll see if the Niners can stand up and tackle him. You got to, if you don't break down and keep a wide base and you don't break down well against Kyler, he'll embarrass you. He absolutely will embarrass you. You'll whiff. You'll be grabbing air. So breaking down well and making him commit to a direction and then tackling him is the way to go. And it's just easier said than done.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It definitely is an interesting thing. They're facing 2 very quick, very fast quarterbacks over the course of the next 2 weeks. And this game, this game is more of a, the Niners are favored by 12.5 points. It's a little bit more of a, just get through the week, get the win, move on. But yeah, next week is the biggest game in the rest of the season, right? It's Baltimore on Christmas. So this is good preparation for that game.
Arizona's playing hard though. And Connor's a big back. Murray's incredibly hard to tackle. Trey McBride is one of the most underrated tight ends in the entire NFL. And then Rondale Moore is one of the fastest little receivers in the league. So they can beat you with big plays. If you turn it over, they're playing, opportunistic football. Gannon will take shots. He'll gamble. He'll onside kick. He'll try to steal a possession. So this is not going to be an easy game, but the 49ers tend to play well on the road. It seems like there. And there's going to be 61% of the fans are going to be rooting for the Niners. So,
yeah. And I'm looking right now, Marquise Brown, Michael Wilson, and Zach Pascal all are listed as injured. So that would leave them with Greg Dortch and Rondale Moore on their depth chart in terms of wide receivers. I don't see anyone else on their depth chart. So I'm not sure who's going to be playing the wide receiver position. They have a lot of injuries there.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, a lot of injuries. So, I mean, that's the big question going into this game. All right, ready for the calls?
Let's do it.
Who's first? Put them up.
James T. Kirk.
Oh,
James T. Kirk, what's up?
I got to be on it, man. I got to get on it here. It's such an honor to be on your platform, Larry.
Appreciate
Kevin,
you, man.
Coast to coast, worldwide, right
border
here
to border. Yes.
Larry, I want to give you a story of 49er fandom.
Okay, let's hear it.
Wow.
Right? Like I mentioned.
Hopefully it's like a short story, like a,
Yeah. It's short. I'll make
in
it
the
short.
beginning, there was the
4 years ago.
But okay. I mentioned last time, I was born and raised in the Bay Area. My family has lived in the Bay Area for generations. I no longer live in the Bay Area, but I go back there all the time.
You seem remarkably happy. You seem like you've been able to overcome the fact that you're no longer here.
Yeah. I don't miss the crime, the filth, the homelessness.
We could bring some by.
I don't miss that at all.
We could
all the things that all the things.
Should we drop off some? Should we drop off some crime and filth on you? Would you like to just? Now we have extra.
So my grandfather's brother, right? So what is that? My great uncle, right? My great uncle. My great uncle was the official publicist for the 49ers back in the 50s when they're in Kezar Stadium. Dan McGuire. Here, he wrote a book too. Here, man, I put this book. There's the book.
Okay, there you go. Look at that.
Dan McGuire, San Francisco 49ers. Yeah, he was the official publicist.
I know two Dan McGuires.
Yeah?
Yeah, there was a Dan McGuire I went to high school with. Then there was a Dan McGuire who used to be in my dad's office. He was an attorney. Probably a pretty common name, Dan McGuire.
I guess. Yeah. Yeah, but this was way back in the day, man. This is back in the 50s. And Niners were in Kezar Stadium. And so Dan was covering the Niners. And then are you familiar with the artist Margaret Kane?
No.
She paints those paintings where everybody's got really big eyes. And they made that movie Big Eyes. No, maybe you don't know that. Margaret Kane. But nonetheless, he married Margaret Kane, and then she painted the Pro Football Hall of Fame portraits of all those 50s Niners, like, Wyatt Tittle, Bob St. Clair, cool. Leo Nomalini. She painted the portraits of those players for the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
That is very cool. Cool.
Yeah, man. It goes way back.
Bob St. Clair used to eat raw steak, Kev. Raw steak. just completely raw. That's how
way back.
I did not know that.
I mean,
crazy.
Yeah. Bob St. Clair, great guy. Worked for Clover Milk for a bunch of years. 6'9", right? Bob St. Clair.
Have you hung out in Kezar Stadium? I mean,
I've been to see Kezar Stadium.
You're growing up in the sunset.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Seriously. We didn't play my freshman year at Kezar Stadium. We played Sacred Heart at our place, I believe. But Kezar Stadium, yeah, thick grass right there on Stanyon, top of the park. Niners home for years and years and years.
Yeah, right on, man. All right, well,
so James D, what's your prediction? What's your prediction for Sunday?
I'm going to the game.
Are you?
I'm actually on my way. I'm on my way to the game. I'm chilling in my boat right now.
Now, where are you? What city are you in?
Huh? I live in Moab, Utah. So
That's right,
halfway to Phoenix is my boat, which is chilling out on Lake Powell down Page, Arizona. And so I go to my boat. I chill on my boat.
Oh, look at you! You're on the boat right now.
I finish the trip and I go down to Phoenix.
Are you in a boat or a yacht? Yeah, is that a yacht?
It's a cabin cruiser, man.
How many? Look, is it a dinghy or how many feet are we talking here?
It's a 31-foot cabin cruiser.
Look at you!
I'm chilling in the cabin right now.
Look at you! Look at you! You're just a man of means. I mean, you're just look at this guy, Franco, in the green room's going. I don't got a fucking boat. Jesus,
but I'm on my way.
How am I going to top this guy? I don't have a boat. This guy's got a boat.
I'm going to the game. I'm going to Glendale.
Look at
owning
you.
a boat in Utah. Is that normal? Because is there a lot of water?
Well, Lake Powell is a beautiful lake. It's an unbelievable lake.
It's an inland boat. It's a boat, but there's lakes.
Boat. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. For sure.
It's not like what Chris Digital Drew's got. It's not Lake Superior or anything. It's not Lake Michigan, I should say.
Lake Erie.
It's a smaller lake, right? It's a very small lake. It's not a great lake.
I mean, no,
what makes it? Have we ever asked what makes a great lake great?
What?
What makes a great lake great?
The Great Lakes.
What's the definition between a lake and a Great Lake?
Well, the Great Lakes are huge, man.
I feel like Digital Drew is going to come in and educate us on the difference between a lake and a Great Lake. Digital Drew, I see you in the green room. If you could look up the difference between a lake and a Great Lake, I bet you. I mean, because there's a lot of lakes. I mean, Lake Tahoe, but it's not a Great Lake. But it is a Great Lake, if you know what I'm saying. But it's just
Lake
not
Tahoe
one
is
of
nothing compared to the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes are massive. It's like an ocean almost.
Yeah, it's like an ocean.
Look at Kev over there. He's very knowledgeable. He's incredibly knowledgeable.
I've looked at a map before. I've definitely looked at a map before. Come on.
I just would like to know what makes a lake great. You know what I mean? All right. James T. Kirk. You got one last one for us?
Let me finish with one last thing here.
Okay, you got the visor going.
I've been practicing since last time.
Wait a second, you've been practicing. Right. I wish I had a drum roll. Where's the drum roll?
I've been practicing. This goes out. This goes out. Oh, I gotta get all my black on. Gotta get the black on. This goes out to Chase Senior and all the subs at Eagles Now.
Very good. Do you like the laughter on that?
Cry, Eagles, cry on the road to misery. Sigh, Eagles, sigh. Blow the big games. 1, 2, 3. Miss them low. Soar them high. And watch your Eagles die. Bye, Eagles, bye, Debo.
James T. Kirk
of the NFC.
Not done yet.
LOSERS. Losers. Go Niners.
James T. Kirk on a boat. Ladies and gentlemen.
With a bev.
With a beverage and a lot of passion. All right. Franco's sitting there going, I don't have a boat. Maybe I'll just pretend this is a boat.
I don't have a rehearsed song to sing.
I don't have a song. I don't have a goddamn visor. I'm screwed. But I'm next on the Krug Show.
Man. James T, you killing me right now, my man. I'm sitting right here in my 2017 Nissan Sentra. Oh, brother, you just put me in the grave right now.
Man, you're getting great reception in the Centra tonight. What's
Man.
going down in the Centra?
Oh, we chilling right now. You know what I'm saying? We're just working on our next move right here. Just daily things.
Is there any chance that a cop will tap on the window and be, "Excuse me, you in the Centra? What's going on? Why are your lights on? What are you doing in here? Are you watching the Krug show?"
Over here in SoCal, we just don't deal with cops. So I just, I treat them like a fan.
There you go. Look at that. This is Franco's living the dream. Franco,
Yes,
what's
sir.
on your mind tonight?
Well, I'm gonna start out by saying I'm with you, James T. I'm gonna be at the game in Phoenix.
Look at this.
Yes,
Two
sir.
callers in a row going to the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, James T. I'm gonna need a ride on that boat. But yeah. Anyways, man. We're gonna be representing 61% out there, Niner fans.
There you go. It's gonna be all Niner fans in the house. Do you have a certain Niner gear that you'll wear to the game?
Yeah, man. I got my 2005 Frank Gore jersey, home jersey,
Oh, vintage.
and
the vintage
man,
jersey.
the Reebok jersey is where it's
Nice.
at. The Reebok jersey is stitched. They don't stitch them anymore, which is a shame. All the new jerseys are just, they don't stitch them. It's just the iron on. So you got to get the stitch jersey. But yeah, man, we're gonna be representing out there, and hopefully it's gonna be a good game.
What's your prediction? Niners going to win this one? Are they going to cover?
Come on, man.
Niners, you give the points? Do you take the points? It's a lot of points. Kev, what is it? 13.5?
12.5, I think.
12.5.
Yeah, it's 12.5 or 13.5. It's one of those.
Stay away.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, look.
There's no way I could tease that down a little bit, but there's no way I'm betting 13.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. I mean, as a betting man,
Though the Niners kick butt there.
I know
No,
they
don't.
always.
They don't kick butt.
We ran away with it at the end.
Well,
last
game, yeah. Well, last game, but I'm saying
last year was in Mexico City.
In Mexico, we
Al
destroyed
Shanahan
them.
against the Cardinals was like 6-9 straight up.
Really?
Are you sure about that?
That's crazy.
What's he done in the last couple of years, though? It seems like they've had ownage the last couple of years.
Probably better, but I'm just saying.
I know Colt McCoy beat him. Completed 84%.
It's a division game. It's 12.5. I would just stay away.
I remember watching that Colt McCoy game. I couldn't believe it. Believe it.
Seriously, that was the most ridiculous game. Colt McCoy completed 84% on the road against the Niners.
He hasn't looked that good since he was a Longhorn. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like have yourself a day.
Yeah.
At that point, you run to Vegas and you just start dropping money down. I mean, it's like you're hot, right? Just keep it rolling.
But who was our DBs back then? What, do we have Akello then? Or was it before Akello?
It was 2 years ago, right?
Wait,
wasn't it?
Shanahan versus the Cardinals, 6-7 straight up, 5-7 and 1 against the spread, but Purdy's 2-0 straight up.
Yeah, come on.
He's never lost to the Cardinals.
He never will.
Come on.
And he never will. Yeah.
It's like how Cam Newton says it. Brock Parody.
Yeah.
Brock Parody.
Seriously, I mean, you know what? It's sad at this point. Anybody who goes to rip Purdy is just doing it for clicks and just doing it for,
it's a shame.
It's, literally, they're just doing it for the attention.
And I think it is I think it's the first pick overall, Cam Newton shitting on the last pick overall, Brock Purdy. So I think it's a little bit of that too. He doesn't like to see the young man shine, which is a shame. But
it's a bad look for Cam to be ripping.
It's a bad look.
Seriously, I mean, you had your day. You couldn't beat out Mac Jones in New England last we saw you.
Yeah.
Your claim to fame is that you fumbled in the Super Bowl and didn't fall on it because you made a business decision. And that's kind of like your legacy. And he was a great player in his day, but I mean, to just sit there and be like, not define what a system quarterback is. And it's like basically making it seem like Dak and Goff and Tua and Purdy are just along for the ride.
Yeah,
why?
I mean,
under what measuring stick? What are you judging these guys against? I'd love to know because, Prescott's had a tremendous year. Goff has been to a Super Bowl. I mean, Goff's has technically achieved everything that Cam's achieved. Right? He went to a Super Bowl and lost. Cam went to a Super Bowl and lost. So
yeah,
I don't know why Cam thinks that he's, just on top ripping these guys. And if you're ripping Purdy at this point, as I would say, I would agree with Trent Williams, you're not watching the film, bro. You're
Right.
just not. You're just not. So
It comes
mean-
distasteful from him because he's an ex-quarterback, so he's kind of saying, I'm not that, but these guys are. And it's like, okay, yeah, Cam wasn't, but his career was short-lived. So I mean, he I don't know. It's all in bad taste, I think. It's kind of a bad taste.
it's just a bad
Yeah,
look.
I mean,
it's like, what suddenly you're better than these guys?
right.
Yeah.
It's a shame, man. If I'm talking to Brock, I'm saying, hey, if you don't got no haters, you ain't popping. So if you got some haters, that means you're
There
doing
you go.
something right.
Quoting
Come on,
Robert
man.
Saleh, who was quoting Roddy Rich or something like that.
Something like that. I don't know what the
Kev, if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping is from what?
I don't know. Is that Polo G or I can't remember.
It's not. It's not Polo G.
it's one of those guys.
It's not the baby. It's not. No, it's. I think it's
like
Roddy Rich. I think it's
They
Roddy.
got a bunch of Lils nowadays.
That's right.
Lil this,
Franco,
Lil that.
you got one more thought on your way out before we get to Digital Drew? Because I see Digital Drew's back there just killing the spread. And
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
He's putting
Digital Drew. I mean, save some for Big Mo Easy.
Mo Easy. Hey,
Big
man.
Mo Easy from Vegas.
Real quick though, I want to give
Yes.
a shout out to all the callers that call in every week, man. Big Mo Easy, Fozzie out there, James T. Kirk doing the thing, shotgunning and whatnot. Yeah,
Who
man,
is
shout out to
Where's
the show is not possible without them.
yeah, man. Straight up.
Call-in show is not a call-in show without the callers. So we always
Facts.
appreciate. We encourage people to call in the show. I really do. Love to see.
Yeah,
people.
seriously. We and Mr. Coles. Hopefully, he doesn't get laid off.
Oh man,
Remember the
that's
boss?
You
tough.
haven't heard
Remember
from
last
him
week?
yet.
Yeah,
Haven't heard from him. I'm a little concerned. I
that
wouldn't
was
mind
tough.
getting Johnny C from Vegas. Mr. Blue Magic.
Johnny,
Mr.
call
Blue
in,
Magic,
bro.
Terradome. I mean, we've got quite a few. The guy who makes pizzas in Vegas.
Yep. Johnny
Right.
C, man, we need you,
Johnny
buddy.
C is epic. I mean,
Bro,
wait a second.
legendary.
Since we
Yeah,
have
Larry.
it here,
Larry,
yes.
Larry,
But Larry. No, it's Butt Larry. Here we go. The legend of Johnny C. Let's go to Johnny. Johnny C.
Let me try, Larry. Okay, so Larry, here's the deal. Larry, honestly, Larry. No, but Larry, I gripe here though, Larry. Here, Larry.
And now they're
Larry. I mean, Larry, but here's the thing, Larry.
What do you think?
I think they're going to sign Jason Peters.
How old is he?
He's
What?
he's 40, but and Larry.
Washington.
Larry. I mean, Larry,
Okay.
I wish I could, Larry.
Johnny, we're going to have to jump.
That is
Always absurd to me how sunburned you are in that video. You're so sunburned.
It was a day at camp. What can I say?
Yep.
I love when
Long days.
Johnny, one of those, he's like, so kind of breathing into the mic. And kind of, wait, I get one more time. Catch the breath there. Catch the breath from Johnny. Let's go to Johnny.
Oh, man.
Johnny C.
I think
Let
they're
me
gonna
try,
sign-
Larry. Okay, so Larry, here's the deal. Larry, honestly, Larry. No, but Larry, I gripe here though, Larry. Here, Larry.
That was the one. Larry. Johnny C.
Mike
C's
Wright,
the best.
Larry?
The Seahawks signed Jason Peters too. I think he played.
They did.
Yeah. Look at that, Johnny C.
Oh, man,
Johnny C.
dude.
in Vegas.
Legend. Call-in
Legend.
show legend.
Call-in show legend. Absolutely.
Shout out to him.
So, what do you think, Franco? Is this game going to be close? Is it? You think? Did you see a blowout? And are the Niners going to run the table? Are they going to beat? Are they going to beat the Ravens and Lamar on Christmas night?
Yeah, man, for sure. I think on the Cardinal game first, I think we're gonna end up running away with it, just like we did last game. I think we're gonna end up. It might be a little close first quarter, second quarter, but come third quarter, going into the fourth. I mean, it's a hat T-shirt game. That's on all the Niners players' mind. If we close this one out, I'm gonna be right. I'm gonna jump on the field. I'm going right over that barrier. Gonna get me a hat and T-shirt. I'm gonna be representing with the team.
Some of those hats are kind of cool.
Yeah, come on.
I have
now,
one of those
so-
hats from years ago, but I can't buy gear now. Now that I'm covering the team, it's unprofessional to buy gear.
Yeah, so I mean,
but what can I say? No, yeah, seriously, if they win this game, they clinch the NFC West, and they're undefeated against the division with one game in the division to go. They went undefeated in the division last year. They're probably going to go undefeated in the division this year.
Yeah, and I'm kind of excited to see how we do guard Kyler, man. I think it's gonna be a show game to see what we can do up against Lamar coming up. Just like you guys were saying, man. I think it's a good practice game almost in a way, like to see how we could deal with a really elusive runner like Kyler. You know, same thing with Lamar. So I think it's gonna be interesting, man.
High scoring, low scoring. What's your prediction?
Yeah, I'm gonna go high scoring. I think the Niners will go. They'll probably put up around 35 to 30.
Low Jackson says 37-9 Niners, all field goals for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I think we could hit that Purdy 30 on them for sure. But we'll see, man.
Maybe 30 on
them
for sure.
For sure. You can. Hey, crew, you can take that to the bank, man. Come on,
cash that.
That Purdy 30
Cha-ching.
is coming. That is coming every week. But yeah, man, I think we're gonna be able to cash that one in against the Cardinals. And like I said, I'm gonna be on the field, jumping over the barrier, representing with the team. So I hope they do. And against the Ravens,
you're gonna be streaking the field. Is that what you're
no, he's not streaking the field.
Well, hold up now. Come on now, Kev. This is a family show.
It's a family show. He's not streaking.
No, I didn't mean like get naked.
This is a guy who's calling us from inside of a Nissan. Right?
Nissan Sentra, yes.
We're
sir.
inside of a Nissan Sentra. You're going to accuse a man inside of a Nissan Sentra of streaking. What is this, 1968?
That's a poor choice of words there.
Yeah, it's a family show.
Come on, Kev.
I meant run across the field, not naked, bro. Come on.
Oh, come on. It's a family show.
Yeah.
All right, Franco. Good stuff, man. We will talk to you soon. Have a phenomenal Wednesday night. Good to see you.
Yes,
Good
sir.
to see the Sentra. It's definitely. I like what you've done with it. I mean, it's terrific design. I mean, that's looking clean. The Sentra's looking detailed.
Look at that.
That's a great looking vehicle.
You know what I'm saying?
Look at that. I mean, lights on, running the battery down. That's all right for the Krug show. You got to do it. You got to run that battery down.
Got to do what you got to do to make it happen.
Franco, have a good night, man. We'll talk to you soon.
You guys have a good night. Adios.
There you go. Franco from the Nissan. You know, we don't do a lot of broadcasts from the car, but we probably should. I like it. A Nissan's it's a car that makes sense.
It's a sense.
Kev, how's the Honda CR-V doing?
Hey, old reliable. That thing runs.
No
problems. It just runs. It just goes.
It's a freaking Honda, baby.
Never
they just
dies.
keep on running. You get tired of them before they get tired of you.
Yeah.
Digital Drew's in the house. We get out to the Windy City for Frostbite.
It's actually it sucks out here. It's but I'm building my winter coat thanks to the Chicago style pizza.
Ooh, there you go. What's your? Yeah. I'm a Geno's East man myself.
Lou's.
What do you go with? Lou Malnati?
Lou Malnati, and when I'm in the city, Pequods.
Okay,
I like
so
Pequods personal.
I took Kev to spring training last year, and in downtown Scottsdale, out of nowhere, gigantic Lou Malnati's.
Did you grab some?
Heck yeah, we went in there. We had deep dish. Oh my god, it was so good.
There we go.
Had some buffalo wings. It was one of our better meals.
People don't know is that my dad is he's definitely a buffalo wing. What is it, like connoisseur?
Aficionado.
You have to try the buffalo wings at pretty much every restaurant we go to.
If there's buffalo wings on there, it's like I do want to try them, whether they be naked or breaded.
Like, why get
you have some here in the green room?
You're ordering the buffalo wings.
Yeah, exactly. That's why we stock the green room with the buffalo.
Yeah, but you only have ranch. Where's the blue cheese, Larry? This feels personal.
Yeah, seriously. I'm a ranch man myself, and I've signed a contract for the Krug Show to have exclusive ranch coverage now. But I know a guy who knows a guy who might be able to hook me up with some blue cheese.
Nice. So we've had a boomer in a boat, a dude in a Sentra with big Sentra energy.
That's right.
We've had a Johnny C sighting.
Right.
Sorry, Larry, I don't have a book. I don't have a song. I'm not in a car.
No.
But I'll at least bring some.
You are a video game, icon. and you work for an iconic video game. There you go. Look at that.
There we go.
Mortal Kombat. For those who don't know,
Yeah.
Digital Drew joins us from Chicago, where they create Mortal Kombat, which is the video game you see over his left shoulder there. And Digital Drew is one of the. How's Mortal Kombat doing these days? You guys making billions?
I wouldn't say billions. It's actually doing really, really well. Working on a lot of content coming up, and it's going about as good as can be expected right now. Still living the dream.
Living the dream.
I get to wake up. Yeah, I get to wake up and say, I make video games for a living. I mean,
what are we looking
everything
at?
is a win.
What are we looking at outside today in Chicago? Are we talking 30s, 40s?
It is right now. It is 29 degrees.
29.
Wind chill is about 23.
What degrees do you finally bust out gloves?
It gets below 20. It gets into the teens. I'll throw the gloves on. Yeah.
Okay.
Anything other than that?
People on the West Coast, if it's like 50, will wear gloves.
Yeah. I went to the West Coast and I saw people walking around in parkas. It was like 58. I'm walking around in just a T-shirt because coming out of the Midwest, you're like,
seriously,
dude, this is
you're wearing
shorts.
A tank top. You're like, hey, what the heck?
I was like, what the hell, man?
Let's go lay out. So, Digital Drew, what's your thought on the Niners? They're rolling right now. Are they going to take the Cardinals apart Sunday?
Yes. They're going to just absolutely waffle stomp them. I don't think it's going to be much of a game. I think it's going to be one of those games that I have up on my iPad while I'm watching a bunch of other games at the same time, and I just kind of check in periodically. I don't see anybody on the Cardinals really posing a threat. The Niners figured out how to contain running quarterbacks when they developed a very specific plan for Philadelphia. I think they're going to run that back against Kyler, and I think they're also going to roll it back on Christmas, to take on Baltimore. So I think we'll see it. Looking at the film, it looked like they were running, just basically blitz 4 and have one of the linebackers spy the quarterback or drop into like a, almost like a cover 2, but not too deep so they can react. And they're all rushing. They're staying very disciplined. Set the edges. Everybody rushes one. And if he does squirt out, you had Greenlaw or you had Warner charging down the quarterback and make sure he didn't get away for much. I think they'll just repeat that against the Cardinals. They'll also do it against Lamar. So I'm not really worried. Who do they have weapon-wise? I mean, they got a few decent running backs.
Well, they got James Conner. Right,
yeah.
James Conner. And they got Trey McBride, the tight end.
Sure.
They got Rondale Moore. Those are the guys that really stand out. They're really dinged up at the wide receiver core, but we'll see who plays. I just don't. I mean, I know Gannon has gotten the most out of them at times this year. I thought they played the Niners kind of tough, at least in the first half, in the last game. But it's one of those stay away games as far as the spread because that's just too many points. You could get backdoored in that situation. I don't know.
It's a divisional game.
Divisional game. But you know what? I feel better about the Niners playing well there. It seems like the Niners, if they're going to have a lethargic letdown, it's sometimes more at home than on the road. On the road, it's like they're energized by the crowd. They seem like they play with a real attitude on the road. I don't know. They look great against Philadelphia. And it seems like they own the Cardinals on the road. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I think that I'd love to see Jalen Graham in this game because I know Oren Burks is hurt.
Yeah.
And Graham had that incredible hit on special teams last week. And I just think that Jalen Graham is special. The same way I thought that Brock Purdy was special, I think Jalen Graham is special. I think he's a kind of guy that if he gets out there and you just give him 4 or 5 series in a row, you're never going to want to take him off the field again. I think he's that good of a player. He just hasn't gotten that run this year because they got Greenlaw. They've got, obviously Warner, and then behind them, you've got veterans like Oren Burks and Demetrius Flanagan-Fowles, and then it's like they've got layers of linebackers, and they really don't substitute their linebackers. Their linebackers basically play every snap. So, but I'd love to see them rest Greenlaw a little bit and lean on Graham and Winters in this final stretch, and see if they can get through a couple games and give Dre some ability to freshen up. I think the Niners' chances of winning the Super Bowl really have a lot to do with getting to the playoffs with a fresh Greenlaw.
I 100% agree. And my biggest concern out of this game isn't win or lose. It really is about health. This game and then leading up to the Baltimore game, we have to keep an eye on health. And I think now is the time where I wish Shanahan would get a better rotation across the entire thing. I want to see Mason. Let's get Ronnie Bell out there. Let's spell some people. Beal. Let's let him dress and get him out there, because you're still going to have injuries and you're going to need all 53 going into the playoffs. So let's get get our vets a little rest. Let's get the fresher players out there. Let's get some reps under their belt, and we can have a more complete push into the playoffs instead of limping in or just praying that people stay healthy. And I know that with Shanahan's history, he doesn't want to take his foot off the pedal, but at the same time, you got to do this very intelligently. And to do that, you're going to have to dip into your roster and let people play. So if come second half, they're up by 3 scores. I don't want to see CMC on the field. I don't want to see Ayuk on the field. Let's start getting people in there.
Yeah, no, I agree. Give me a little Ronnie Bell. Give me a little, just anybody but CMC. I mean, I'd be fine with anybody at this point, but I'd love to see JP Mason. To me, Mason is the guy that they need to bust out. They need to see him bust out. And then also Kittle. I mean, you don't have a backup for Kittle if you're not going to sign Ertz. That's really dangerous. So I'd like to see them start to kind of baby Kittle a little bit in the final stretch of the season, just simply because they don't have the way their depth chart falls. It's the one spot where they don't have anybody that even approaches Kittle behind him, So if you can get ahead in these games, take him off the field and use some of your other players.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to cut these guys breaks. And it's getting to the point in Kittle's career, and I am donning the 85 here. It's getting to that point in his career that every time he touches the ball and starts to run down field, it looks like a senior citizen who's just stumbling down some stairs. I mean, he's a little worse for wear. When you have that physical style of play, you pay for it in your longevity. And we have to be aware of that. And that goes for CMC, it goes for Debo, and it goes for Kittle specifically. And we have to keep those guys healthy. Otherwise, we saw what happened in that 3-game stretch when we were missing one of those weapons. It's what puts the stress on the defense is needing to account for all those different options. It's kind of the way Curry being on the floor with the Warriors spreads the floor. All those weapons being on the field spreads the field. It creates pockets. It creates space. And Shanahan talked about that, right? Of attacking space. If those guys aren't healthy, you don't have the space. So they need to be aware of that.
You saw Draymond Green's hit on Nurkic, did you not?
His karate chop, his backhand,
his roundhouse or whatever the heck you want to call that. So the Warriors have problems these days for sure.
They do.
Drew, the Warriors they're struggling and they don't know what they're going to do with Clay. They don't know what they're going to do with Green, and Green's losing his mind. It's tough times here in Golden State. Digital Drew, go ahead. Go one last one.
Yeah. One quick thing. Cam coming out talking about system quarterback, game manager. Hey, Cam, you're not in the league because you can't manage a game. All right. It was embarrassing to see you come out and trounce all of these quarterbacks. And it really smacked of jealousy. Like there's still a part of you that thinks you should be in the league. Just sit down and shut up, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you have your time.
Right. You're right, because I think he was trying to get into the league this year. Like this year he was.
Yeah, he was.
And this is a down year for quarterbacks, and everyone knows that, and he couldn't get in. So that's why
find a place.
It's just bad taste. It's just bad taste coming from a guy like that who tried to play this year and is trying to then discredit some of the best quarterbacks in the game right now. It's just bad taste.
Yeah. You know when what's his name? He's on First Take now.
Skip
Sherman. Sorry, Sherman. Sherman, when he first started moving into the pundit side into the media side. He still had a little bit of that in the back of his head that he might be able to play. He didn't fully embrace his new job until he fully retired, walked away, and wrote off the game. I don't think Cam is there yet. And you could see that in kind of the angst and anger that he had in his voice when he was saying it. Basically, these guys aren't that good. I'm better than that. And you could see that competitive edge still in him. I understand where it comes from. And I know he was just on a podcast, but man, they rolled that clip out, and all hell's been breaking loose against him as a result of it. But come on, man.
It's a bad look. It's a bad look for him. Digital Drew, have a great night, man. Thanks for jumping in, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks,
later.
Digital Drew in Chicago. Big Mo, easy. We get out to Vegas for a man who's on his patio right now as to not disturb his girl.
Man, let's just say this, man. We had boats, we had Nissan Sentras, and now we got a porch.
There you go.
Hey.
On the porch.
The show's going downhill, guys.
The man on the porch so he doesn't bother his lady.
You know what? It's just so I can talk man. You know what I mean? Anyway, bro, man, I'm so glad to be on you guys' show as always, man. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I don't know what happened last week, bro. My battery died on my phone or something, man.
That's all right. We figured, somehow somebody got you.
No, Big Mo. I remember this. You were like, "Oh shit, my phone died," and then you just disappeared.
I think I dropped an F-bomb, to be honest with you, but oh no. I was like, oh no, and then my boy was like, bro, I think they heard you dropping an F-bomb when your phone died, and I was like, oh no, that's terrible. Look, man, that's a terrible look. It's a family show. It's a family show.
It's a family show. Kev made his bed tonight. I mean, come on. It's amazing.
Kev didn't make that bed, man. One of them little girlies he got coming over here. That bed, man. Let's be honest, baby. She was embarrassed.
If he's got girls in that room, my wife would freak. Oh my God. There'd be the end of it. It'd be the end of Kev. There'd be no Kev as part of the call-in Wednesday night show. Big Mo, how you feeling about Niners Cardinals come Sunday?
Man, I'm feeling great about the matchup, especially because it's going to be a good prep game going against Arizona. Like you guys had stated earlier, Kyler, Lamar, similar styles. They definitely got the speed, similar speed. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a good warm-up for the Ravens. I think we should be able to take Arizona. Like I said, we always struggle against mobile quarterbacks. So hopefully this time around, we'll be good. I see us being pretty solid. I don't see us having too many problems with this.
Kyler is going to be a difficult guy to corral, though. I mean, he's just not an easy guy to tackle. He's just not an easy guy to account for. He is a wild card. I mean, anytime you play him, he moves around so well that, it's like it is a concern. I do think the 49ers will win and probably win convincingly. But if you told me that he made a bunch of miracle plays and kept it close, I wouldn't be shocked.
And I was just about to say that it's the, the comparison to Lamar and Kyler, how they both have the speed, yet they can both hit the off-schedule plays because of the speed that they offer. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like you said, man, it's going to be a test for the next 2 weeks, but I'm feeling good about it, man. Like, we clicking right now. I like it.
What team do you think, if you were to guess, would be the team that the Niners would get in the Super Bowl? None of these teams are looking. None of these AFC teams are looking like they're the team. Miami just lost to Tennessee, and then you look at Kansas City. Kansas City doesn't look right, and then you look at Baltimore, and they just gave up 31 at home to the Rams. And Kyron Williams ran for over 120 yards against them. Buffalo doesn't look like a championship team. It's weird. It's like I'm looking at all these teams, and I'm thinking, man, the AFC's loaded with all these monster teams, and as we get closer to the playoffs, they all look like they're just kind of fizzling out. Who do you believe in the AFC?
You know what? Honestly, Ravens is still going to be pretty much the biggest one because, as far as for the defense, I think they got the solid D. I was really thinking Miami before Monday, man, but wow, it really showed that they're hurting on their defense. That injuries that they're acquiring down there is really taking its toll on the linebacker core. You can see it with the Titans game. You know what I mean? So, I still think it's the Ravens. That's what I feel. But everybody was popping off this year talking about AFC this, AFC that, you know what I mean? And like you said, man, like looking at it outside looking in, it's like, dude, AFC looking hella down this year. You know what I mean? Like seriously, it looked like the whole AFC ain't got their stuff together between like the injuries to major quarterbacks and just like you got Josh Allen fighting with Diggs, you know what I mean? Like their whole thing is all screwed up. You know, you got Mahomes throwing temper tantrums on the sideline, you know what I mean? Their whole thing is like screwed up right now. You know, it's like it's crazy over there in the AFC, but you know what? Hey, that benefits the Niners, baby. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Seriously, I mean, I don't care if all the contenders evaporate and the Niners win, in a walk on, nobody's going to remember in 20 years if, how competitive the Super Bowl was. I'd be more than happy to blow somebody out and get that 6th Lombardi.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I've been hungering for a 6th one. So you know what? I'm actually one of these Niner fans that I've been blessed to actually see all 5 Super Bowl wins. You know what I mean?
How about that?
And you know what? There's a lot of fans out here that rep the team that cannot say that. And I want one for them. You know what I'm saying?
Kev's never seen one.
That's what I'm saying, man. We want one for Kev, baby. Come on, baby. Let's go.
For me, I've seen
do
2
it
losses.
for Kev.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen 2 losses.
How old were you when the Niners lost to the Ravens?
What was that? 2011, 12?
2013, January of 2013.
I was 11 years old.
Yeah, man. I've been a Niner fan since 6 years old, man. My grandmother got me into Niners football. God rest her soul. She loved Joe Montana. And I've been a Niner fan ever since, man. I'm 49 this year. So I'm going to tell you, it's like this, Larry. It's destiny. 49 years old, 49ers coming to Vegas, where I live, and they're going to take the whole fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Big Mo Easy. Big Mo, have a good night, man.
Hey, Larry, wait, before I go, right quick, can I say something real fast?
One more thing.
I just want to give you flowers right quick, man, because you know what? You was super right on Purdy, and bro, people giving you heat on Ayuk, bro. You was right on Ayuk too, bro. Straight up, because you know what? I knew Ayuk was going to be something out of Arizona State, and I'm so glad the Niners picked him up, bro. And you was sticking up for him. You was right again, bro. So you know what? 2 times being right. You the man, Larry. Pig and a pickle. I'm out.
Pig and a pickle. Big Mo Easy. Love Big Mo. Love Big Mo out in Vegas. He is fantastic.
I have to drop at 9, so if you want to do this next call real quick.
We'll do it quick. Chris Barber.
4 minutes.
Chris, Kev's got to go in a couple minutes. How you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Can y'all hear me, fellas?
We got you tonight. We got you.
All right. Cool deal. That's what I'm talking about, fellas. Doing all right.
How you doing? What's on your mind tonight?
I just wanted to talk about how I've noticed that Kyle Shanahan, I've never seen him show this much emotion this year with the
on
team.
The sideline in the game, you mean?
On the sidelines in the games. It seems like he finally has a quarterback that lives and breathes football. Because I think the problem with Jimmy G, when he left the building. You know, he wasn't available.
Right.
You know, on certain times that you need your quarterback to be committed. And I don't feel that Jimmy G was committed.
I don't nothing against Jimmy because Jimmy was a good player. But I think Brock and the way he continues to improve and the way he's playing the quarterback position combined with their weapons and their defense has given everybody in this organization, everybody in the fan base, everybody just a little more bounce this year because they just have this belief that Brock's going to get it done. So I think Shanahan's included in that. Shanahan feels that momentum. I really believe it.
But you got to look at it. You got to look at it this way: that everybody said that Kyle Shanahan couldn't win without Jimmy G. You know, everybody knew the record before Brock Purdy, and I think that kind of handicapped the team to where Jimmy G had a little bit of power over the team because he was like, "What have y'all won before me?" You know what I'm saying? So I think that kind of breeded a little resentment with Kyle Shanahan until Brock Purdy came along.
I think the resentment came from the fact that Kyle's a football lifer and Jimmy G's a guy that's like, when I'm off, I'm off. I'm not answering my phone. I'm not like Jimmy G had this kind of like this ego about him where when he wasn't playing football, he wasn't talking to nobody. Like he wasn't answering the phone. Like that was a reported thing. But Kyle Shanahan's like a football lifer, and they just probably didn't see eye to eye on that.
Hey, Chris, what's the hat? What does the hat say? It's a sharp look. The pink hat.
Hey, y'all might not like this one. Here we go.
What does that say?
What does that say? It's blurry. Does it say "Make America Great Again"? What does that say?
Hey, get a little closer. Get a little closer. Can we see a little closer?
Yeah. I think that we're in a good spot this year. We had our struggle. We had our 3-game stretch to where we struggled, and people was doubting us and doubting what we can do. But I think it's based in. It's a lot of money to be made off of Brock Purdy, talking negative about him, talking about him. 49ers content creators. I see a lot of 49er content creators, more than I ever seen. And a lot of them, saying, I think Brock Purdy is the captivating figure that people can't stop talking about, good or bad. It's
you know what it is?
You don't want to go away.
He's making those. We're finding out which content creators can backpedal. Hey, Chris, good to see you, bro. Have a good night.
You know what?
Appreciate you. And Niner fan to finish. Niner fan, we only got about a minute.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Where are you calling from?
How you doing?
San Jose. San
Jose, how you doing? You say hi to Kev, the great Kev's in the house.
Niner fan, what's up, bro?
Yeah, I've been listening to you this whole season. This is my first time calling in, so
appreciate that.
Is that a Croatia flag behind you?
Yeah, it is. I'm Croatian. Yeah.
Nice. Your light went out.
Oh, sorry.
Here we go.
But I was just calling because a lot of people have been talking about Brock Purdy, and I listen to like a lot of the shows like when I'm driving around throughout the day, like the national media stuff like that. And for me, growing up a 49er fan, like I've gone through Alex Smith. Like as a little kid, I was like, he's gonna be the guy. He's our first pick.
Right.
He obviously, like I think I wasn't a big fan of his. Ended up. And then Kaepernick, same thing. Jimmy G, same thing. Trey Lance, same thing. And so, just in my 2 eyes, from what I've seen, this is the first time where I've actually been like, okay, this guy could actually be something. So I think it's interesting how I feel like a lot of those other guys had a lot more slack. They kept getting chance after chance. But Purdy, who is the only one that's actually in the NFL showing anything, is like really high level elite stuff, is the one that people just keep crapping on constantly.
It's amazing too, because he's playing at such a high level right now, and it's kind of been a little bit of a distraction, that so many people are going at Brock. But you know what? In a way, it's great because he's the kind of guy that really has gotten to this point playing with a huge chip on his shoulder, and it just adds to the chip. And it's funny when people doubt him, people around him are like, "Good, doubt him some more, because the guy really plays sharp football when he's focused, determined, and kind of pissed." And so, you know what? I think he's won over his teammates. He's won over the fan base. He's won over the fans that really were rooting hard for Trey Lance and didn't understand who he was. And I think he's won over Shanahan, the coaching staff, and pretty soon he'll win over all these people who doubt him. And ultimately, you know what? Richard Sherman said it best. If this guy can be standing in the winner's circle on Super Bowl Sunday, he'll just take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This whole debate of is he legit, is he not? They're going to be saying that as he's holding the Lombardi Trophy.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm the same with Kev. I've never seen him win, so I'd definitely like to cross that off the bucket list.
Niner fan, have a great night, man. Appreciate you jumping in, and do it again. We'll love to see you again.
Yeah, nice to meet you guys.
There you go, Niner fan. All right, Kev, thanks to New York Style Italian Sausage, thanks to Marin Auto Glass, thanks to Underdog Fantasy and Mojo Fantasy. Make sure you check us out as well in Corte Madera. We're going to be there on Sunday for the watch party, 341 Corte Madera Town Center. Stop by, watch some Niners, have some barbecue, have a beer, maybe go Christmas shopping for a couple hours. We're going to be doing the post-game show there, hopefully, if the Wi-Fi works. And we're fired up. Kev's going to be there. My family's going to be there. A lot of friends will be there. Stop by, say hello, and if you're a follower of the Krug Show, stop by. We'd love to meet you and have a beer with you. So
I'm actually genuinely I'm interested to see who's coming to this. We have no idea who's coming. We don't have like an Evite system. Like we're just saying like, hey, come, and if you want to come, we're
there, and we're going to be there, and we're going to be there all day. We're going to be there drinking beers and having some barbecue. And I'll say this. I'm kind of ordinary to meet. Kev's kind of interesting to meet. It should be interesting to see who shows up, and the barbecue is phenomenal. You can't beat the barbecue. The barbecue is second to none.
Yeah.
So stop by, have some barbecue, and I'm looking forward to it. Dusty Gold just buy Larry a drink.
Before I dip out,
Damon's going to be there, I believe.
2 announcements. One
Wait a
is
second, before you do, we got one super here from Davis who says we needed to remind people Purdy's numbers would be much greater than Dak if we left Purdy in the game while we are destroying teams. I get it. I mean, Brock Purdy's I think has the fewest fourth quarter passing attempts in the NFL. So you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Oh, he's 26. He was dead last for a while. Go ahead, Kev. I'm sorry.
Two announcements. One, I've seen a couple people say, well, how do I call in? If you're listening to this and you're wondering how you call in, there's a link in the chat. We're not taking any more calls tonight, but every Wednesday we do the show. And there's a link in the chat, and that link takes you to like a video call. So that's how we do the calls. Second, next Wednesday there won't be a call-in show, but we'll probably do it on Friday or Saturday. So just wait for that announcement. And then additionally, I just want to promote our members only. I just started releasing, quick. You get content like before other people. Some of the stuff like the recordings that we don't post, you can get them. So basically, you just get more content. So we're going to be pushing that. And then obviously check out the Spotify, the socials. Check all the links in the description. Check out Mojo Fantasy. Check out Underdog Fantasy. Promo code Krug. All that good stuff. And that's it.
All right, good stuff. I think I took down the banner. There we go. The wrap. But thanks to all of our sponsors, and thanks to all you guys in the chat. Thanks to our callers. Kev, good to see you. We'll see you soon, like maybe in 5 minutes or so. I'll see you down the hall.
See ya.
I'll see you in the hallway, man. And you better have my money. All right, everybody have a good night. Appreciate you supporting the Krug Show. Peace.